What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Weirdos at Home, taped live on tape. Taped live on tape. Here in the Sam Cave, you know who I am. I'm your favorite host ever, Sam Slater. My guest today is one of my all-time favorites. He's a co-host of Critical and Thinking. You may know him from Conan. You may know him from A Million Little Things. Maybe you saw him on Brooklyn Nine-Nine or just caught him live on stage. It's the very funny comedian Ty Barnett is back with me.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Thanks for having me, bro.
Guys. Especially in a week like this. This is a very big get.
Oh man, thank you, bro. You know, I owe you. I owe you a ton, man. You've rescued us on our show many times, bro.
I like to think I'm y'all's Clooney Batman. I'm nobody's first choice, but if the fucking bat signal goes up, I'll show up in the nipple suit.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I always tell people, I say, man, you know, with guests like you, it's a perfect combination of wit and knowledge. Like sometimes we'll have guests on and they specialize in one thing over the other, you know, which is great because all of them enhance the show. But there are some guests that may not go the funny route, and some people that may not go the informational route. And you're one of those people that, you know, you combine both. So we're always glad to have you on the show.
Just a fat, funny nerd, man. That's what I do.
That's what's up.
You told me what you guys talked about this morning on Critical and Thinking with Ty and Ian. Check it out if you haven't. You just came back from Europe.
Me and my wife, we went to London for a few days, then to Nice. We did a quick day trip to Monaco and yeah, which I mean, you can see it all. You can see that part really quick. Like Monaco, a day trip is all you need because if you ain't got that kind of money, if you don't have Monaco money, there's really no reason for you to be in Monaco. You can get a baguette and a croissant, and you're out.
So you gotta get back on the bus.
That's it, and get back on the bus. That's it. And then we finished out the trip in France. I'm not France, but I mean Paris. And bro, when I tell you, man, London was I've been to London before, so it wasn't new to me, but it was new to my wife, and she is really good at planning stuff. So she planned the whole trip, and she planned stuff in London that I had never seen before. So it was kind of like a new trip for me, and that's. But Paris, neither one of us had been, and man, when I tell you, we looking forward to going back.
Really,
it was dope, man. A lot of walking, 8 to 10 miles a day we did, and saw a lot of good sights. The only thing that we didn't do that people keep asking us, it's not for my lack of trying, we didn't go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. It's the only thing we didn't do.
You gotta leave something to do next time.
That's what I keep saying. That's what I'm telling myself to feel better.
No, it's not going anywhere for now. What did it feel more? Did it feel more Woody Allen movie or more Mission Impossible movie?
I like those. Okay. It felt more Woody Allen without the pedophilia.
For sure. Cool. Yeah, sure.
It was, you know what it is, man, is that when you see it on television, when you see it in movies and stuff, like there's a part of you that you feel like it can't be that nice. It can't be that, come on, man. You guys are making movies about this all the time. Is it really that good? And I have the same feeling about it as I do with New York, because I love New York. And so for me, I can go to New York all the time and get a different experience from it every time. So with Paris, the same thing, bro. I mean, the cobblestone roads, the little small cafes, the history, bro. The history, seeing buildings that have been there for centuries. It's fucking bananas, bro. It's weird. Versailles was nice. It was just one of those experiences, dude, where I have to honestly say it was it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city.
I've got to get over to Europe. I've never been.
Yeah, if you gotta go for your first time, I mean, London was great. And what we were gonna do at first is we were gonna go to London and take the train to Paris. The tube. So I would say you guys should do it that way. The only reason because we flew to Nice. and then we flew in to Paris from there. But overall, man, the trip was fantastic.
That's awesome, man. As soon as I saw your post talking about when y'all were leaving to go over there, I just imagined you on the plane. And you don't have to correct me, don't worry. But I imagine you and your wife in very like that dark first class seat. And your wife falls asleep and she's all cozy. And then the stewardess walks by. They're still stewardess, right? Yeah. No, flight attendants, excuse me. What am I, 80? And hands you a little flash drive and you put it in your phone and it's like, Ty Barnett, this is your mission if you choose to accept it.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That Ty Barnett 10, 15 years ago, not Ty Barnett now. Ty Barnett now is like, if you told me my mission now is to have as much sleep as possible, wear comfortable shoes, and the only mission impossible is it's impossible to get me to do anything extra physically than I want to do.
Don't crush the baguette too hard to get a cramp walking around. That's the main objective.
Bro, I was like, look, man, there were a couple days like I have my walking shoes that I like, which are Hoka's.
Nice.
And I always say when I get famous enough to where they want to give me endorsement deals, I will be endorsing Hoka's, Hoka. They are the best walking shoes on the planet. Better than Skechers, better than New Balance, all that, bro.
Shots fired over here.
Hey, bro, listen, man. Comfort is the new sexy.
Oh, I believe that. I mean, look at my dumb 70s Kurt Russell hair. I got to do something about this. But what's your take on the food? You know, because a lot of Southern honkies like myself go over there and come back. I've never been, but I kind of a foodie. I like to consider myself sophisticated palate.
Well, it's funny you asked that because I told my wife before we went over, I said, look, don't have high expectations about the food in London because I'd been and I wasn't really impressed. And I said it to her like multiple times. But this time, like we found different restaurants and the food was really good. She is very good at finding these things. This is why I let her plan everything. She thinks it's because I'm lazy, and it's not that. It's just that she is really good at planning these things. So she found restaurants that were really good. And in Paris was really good too. It's actually a toss-up this time of who had better food because both were good. I will tell you one quick story. We went to a restaurant because the service wasn't great in Paris. I will say that. The service in London was great pretty much all the way through. In France, in Paris, it was like we went to one restaurant and bro, we kind of figured like we better order everything now because these motherfuckers are taking forever.
Like we'll never see them again. If we don't say something now, they're leaving.
They would come to the table and be like, oh, did you need anything? And my wife takes a while to order. So I would look at it like, no, you got to do it now. You got to do it right now.
Be ready. Here they come. You got it.
It was like jumping double dutch, bro. I'm like, please order now.
You got it. Here they come.
So the person would leave, and I'm not even bullshitting, Sam. The dude would come back 10, 15 minutes later and be like, are you guys ready for your order? And I'm like, yes. And at the end of that evening at this particular restaurant, we were sitting there like, fuck, man, this is, I don't want to be the rude American that doesn't tip, but god damn, these guys are being, I said, and so we ordered dessert, and I said, and there's no way they're going to get an exceptional tip. You'll get a good tip because we don't want that kind of reputation on us. And so they brought us these desserts, and one was like a strawberry cake, and another one was a creme brulee. And we both looked at each other and said, they both look great. And we said, man, unless these cakes are really good, they're getting it. And we took a bite and Saints was like, yeah, maybe the service wasn't that bad. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever you do, take as much time as you need.
It dawned on me, you are, I love this about you as a comedy guy, as a comic, you're from Chicago, a good amount of time in New York, and based out of LA.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the full, you have access to like every Avengers base there is.
Man, and look, what's funny as I'm wearing an X-Men shirt. I tell you, like growing up in Chicago, and I think I told you this before, like I thought I would never leave Chicago. I always thought that I would live my entire life in Chicago, have a home in Chicago and all that. And I thank my granddad, God rest his soul, for giving me the best advice, which was to get the hell out of Chicago.
What was your granddad's name?
Johnny.
Johnny. Was it Johnny
Johnny.
Barnett?
No, actually, we call him Johnny, but his government name is Willie Coleman.
Even better. That's very
So,
sounding name.
oh my God, dude. So we would, so he is the first person that instilled in me to go travel and see something outside of that bubble, because Chicago is a bubble in a sense, you know, especially depending on what part of the city you're from. And so my first time coming out to the West Coast wasn't even California, it was actually Seattle. So Seattle was my first time. Hilarious. I see it. I see you.
No, a lot of time south of downtown. What are you talking about?
Exactly. Yeah. No, but here's the thing. I always said if I did go live in Chicago, I would have to live downtown. I've always had this love affair with downtown Chicago, bro.
It's the most magical fucking downtown, I think, in the world.
I know. I've seen your post. I've seen your post about it. I'm like, man, it's nothing. It's not. Don't get me wrong. New York is my favorite city on the planet, but downtown Chicago, man, even as an older dude now, I still get giddy when I drive into downtown Chicago.
I mean, I got to tell you a quick story. Jesus, speaking of Chicago, we live by a train track now. That's like a big Missouri Pacific train.
Mm-hmm.
So about 5 times a day, like I feel at home. It kind of fucks with Tara. She's never lived so close to train. But I feel like I'm like, you know, right there by the L in Wrigleyville. Just hang on, don't go by. It was such a cool feeling taking Tara to Chicago for her second time. Maybe it was the third time. And her just knowing her way around. Like it was like being the coach of, you know, like a great player who just like, you don't have to call the plays anymore. Like
Yeah.
she knows what train. No, we're going red line up to Addison, then we got to go back down to the loop. We got to get dinner. And you're just like,
I will tell you this though, you do Chicago a little different. Like I'm not gonna lie, I rent a car. I don't take the train no more.
Why is that? Is it because you just don't want to fuck with it? You can afford to not have to do it.
I don't want to fuck with the train because one, the places I like to go, like I really stick to a handful of places in Chicago. Like my family lives on the South Side. So once you get off the train, once you take the L and or you know you're on the Dan Ryan, like my family is off of certain lines. So you say I have relatives that used to live off of 63rd, 71st, 79th, 87th. So like once you get off, there is no way. Like you either got to, so the train's here, you got to go this way or this way. So you would need a car. I'm not walking through those neighborhoods.
Oh no, absolutely not. And absolutely not. And also you do Chicago like a grown man with roots there.
Yes, I know the places to go. Hey, I have the place I get my breakfast. I have my I found a couple of blues clubs there that I saw that on this last trip that was pretty nice. I go sit by the downtown by the waterfront. Every once in a while I may go to a museum. And then I kind of keep it there, bro. I don't really, because to me, all the stuff that I do now is the stuff that I wish I had the means to do as a kid.
Right, totally.
That's all that. So I and as far as cars, like I don't like having to wait for people.
Right.
I'm one of those people, bro. Like I'm like, I want to be able to come and go as I please. So like I'll rent a car. That's always my first thought is to rent a car. And
well, like, I've had friends around. You grew up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know how to get to where I need to get to.
I mean, I'd be like Clark Griswold in East St. Louis trying to drive around, and I lived there for 5 years.
Hey, fuck your mama.
Kids, roll them up.
You noticing all this plight? Listen, hey man, when I tell you there's because people always ask me to say, well, what's one of your favorite movies? Vacation to me, I never get tired of watching it. The first one.
Right.
And I think I said this, I may have said this to you one time before, but the first Vacation is so good that all of the horrible stories I hear about Chevy Chase, I forget when I watch the first Vacation.
Well, and also the horrible stories, they kind of hit you differently than they hit me, because he was saying words that I definitely can't say. he shouldn't be saying.
I know, man. And that's what's tough sometimes because you feel like what's crazy about what did it say? Never meet your heroes. What did it
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, and
Never meet.
I think I have a small handful. Like I don't have any business running into Bill Murray anywhere at all. I don't want any part in
Oh, bro,
it.
but see
I'll
now
get my heart broken.
Bill Murray to me, like again, like I mean, I think he recently got in a little bit of trouble with a movie that he was doing. He had to get off the movie, but
Did you know what happened?
what?
So this is what I was going to add to the Chevy thing. Not that everybody was blatantly dropping in-bomb back then, but what Bill did, Chevy's like next level offensive these days. I don't know what he's doing. Bill, everybody's wearing masks. Aziz was directing this comedy, like dramedy. And Bill goes over to a PA who's like sitting there looking at her phone and straddles her, sits down, straddles her, like face to face, and kisses her. They're both wearing masks and kisses her through the thing. It's Bill Murray. I know that that's okay these days, but what did you think he was gonna do when he was walking towards you? And so she full on filed and fucking the movie shut down and
Oh yeah. Hey man, listen, bro.
they're not playing on sets anymore.
I can tell you right now, I remember being on a set. Actually, I shot something last year, and after we finished the scene, and this is how paranoid I am. And this is why like I could never do what Bill Murray did in that scenario. I would never even fathom that. But this is how paranoid I am about where we are right now, post Me Too and all this type of shit. The AD comes over to me and she says, oh, just so you know, I've been watching what you're doing here. You're doing a great job with the dialogue. Oh my God, this is just so great. And I touched her shoulder and I did like this. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I just did like this, not full on like this, but like, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And bro, as I'm walking to my seat, this is a full view of everybody. This is everybody seeing this. There is no intent or nothing. I'm just a friendly person when it comes to that. So I'm just on the shoulder. I was so paranoid. I'm sitting in my seat and I'm just like, man, I hope that shit didn't look or feel inappropriate.
Oh, and in your mind, you see her like going to the production people and going and being like telling some crazy story and
well, because then you think, should I go
yeah, you want to make it a thing, right? Because then if it's nothing,
I don't want to make it an issue. So I just kind of kept an eye on my email for the next couple days, like, oh, please, thank goodness. Because dude, a comedian, man, a female comedian posted something and she was talking about how being in these comedy clubs and dealing with, sexual harassment and stuff like that. And I've been in this business now for like 27, 28 years. I've never felt that, bro. And you as a man in this business as well, I'm sure you've never felt that. You've never felt threatened when you go to a comedy club. You never felt
not like somebody wanted to fuck me. I mean,
exactly. Well, you didn't get offended. I can tell you that you probably didn't get offended.
No, I probably wouldn't have been offended. That's not. I don't get that a lot. But I did. I know I did get like the older comics, like bully kind of shit. I mean,
yeah,
but that's different.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the sense of, but when I read the post, it made me think like, oh shit, wow, I didn't even look at it like that. Like these women are in the same green rooms that we are. They talk to the same bookers that we talk to. They drive the same routes to these clubs as we drive. Yet we never feel that feeling of, oh my God, this motherfucker wants to fuck me.
Or can you imagine the anticipation of just driving to the fucking club, going like, oh shit.
Exactly, right? Like, I hear stories about these women having to do crazy shit just for fucking stage time. I'm like, God damn.
And Louis doesn't even do clubs anymore.
See, so it's like, why? So to me, I guess when I think about that Bill Murray story, I'm like, I get it, bro. You Bill Murray, and you're like the lovable dude, and at the end of the day, is harmless, but you can't invade nobody's space
It's
like
not.
that
It's
without it.
just, yeah,
You
no. This is
can't. Oh,
guys. This is why Ty Barnett is such a big get on this show. He is like the Chicago Big Brother I never had, where I'm over here being like, what did Bill do? What
it's
Cinderella story? And Ty's like, you can't just walk up on a PA,
you can't,
Eskimo
man.
kids with them, man. What the fuck?
It's because you know what it is. Like everybody, first of all, everybody feels now validated, and this does not mean every story is the same, because some people take shit out of context and it is what it is. But when it comes to people's personal space and their bodies and their stuff, people have to be very aware that this is just where we are right now. Like, and as it should be, I got to be honest with you. Like, I wouldn't want somebody just assuming that they could grab me and touch me and be in my space, let alone put their lips on my face.
Well, and I imagine a 20, I don't mean to cut you off, I just want to throw this in there. A 20-year-old PA probably does not have near the the hero worship for Bill Murray that guys like us do.
At all. So you got people
Like the guy from Wes Anderson movies.
come on, man. Hey, thank you. I just saw somewhere where somebody just posted and they said these new kids don't give a fuck about Jordan. He's just somebody to sell shoes.
Same thing.
Yep. So like I said, it's and Bill should know better. Now I get it. He came up in a time where everyone did coke together, and they fucked around. They did the parties where you have the key exchange.
They used to see Ty Barnett the key exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So much of your Gen X, you used to hear key exchange stories. They used to run into no shit Donald Trump at Studio 54 when they were on SNL.
And that's why I say like it's sad, because you feel like you look at Bill Murray and you say, man, because I always say there's a list of a handful of people that you just don't want to get canceled, and Bill Murray's on that list, Denzel's on that list, Sam Jackson's on that list,
Sandler.
It was another one. Hold on. I don't think it'll happen with Tom.
I know who you're thinking of. Victor Garber.
Who's that?
Is this guy that's in all these Affleck movies back in the day with Jennifer Garner? White-haired guy. He was like, it's a deep track.
I'm sure I know who you're talking about.
You've probably been in scenes with him. Be honest with you.
But think about it. So that short group of people, and you say, okay, well, please don't let that person fuck up. I just had Keanu Reeves. That's another one where you just
that would be heartbreaking. I'd say Woody Harrelson would be fucking tough.
Woody Harrelson's another one where you just
did Eddie? Do we count Eddie in the '90s with the thing and the stop with the?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, where Eddie is one of those people that you can tell is very aware of where we are. And he would not do that. And all the shit that he did in the past, he knows that shit is in the past.
Statute of limitations cannot touch that shit.
And that's why, like, when people brought up the shit with Cosby, and my thing with I was of two different mindsets with Cosby. One, as a man, I feel like you shouldn't have to take the pussy. Sorry if I can say that word. Sorry. You shouldn't have.
This is my Bill Clinton argument compared to Trump.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't have to take it. And if you have to drug somebody in order to do it, first of all, as a man, why do you shouldn't even feel fulfilled that way? Because part of and ladies, don't be offended as I say this, part of the challenge is being able to convince the woman to want to be with you. That is part
don't be offended. Did you think I was gay?
Well, no, I don't know if we have women that are going to be watching the show.
Oh, no. Women are like, yeah, you better fucking put on,
you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like as a dude, like there was always this part of you that would be like, yo, man, she's digging me. I was charming enough. I was able to talk her into
I got a few laughs.
You see what I'm saying?
On the bus.
But when you have to slip something in there, come on, man. That's like stop.
No, that's beyond asterisk. That's straight up like cork bat. Here's what breaks my heart the most about that is growing up, he was the coolest, most charming dad there was. Like he'd make a dirty, sloppy hoagie and then and be like, time to go upstairs. And like he just like it's on now. And there was no hint of any of that, which I'm sure was part of the master plan. But just what comic isn't charming enough to get laid? And that's what makes me think he was, but it turned into psychotic, couldn't get enough.
Yeah, and that's where I say the other part comes in, because I also feel like a lot of people were doing quaaludes then, a lot of people were popping pills then. But again, like you said, first of all, you got comedians that aren't even known that are able to talk people into, like what was it, the running joke in the club is don't fuck the wait staff. You know what I'm saying? So
there's one young guy who does.
See, now imagine a dude who is popular. Why would you have to do it? You don't have to do it. Just you're Bill Cosby, bro. So it was a couple of layers with that I looked at and I was like, man, it's just something wrong with that. But I also feel that as a society, if you're gonna go after people like that, you need to go after everybody. You need to go after everybody that's doing that type of shit. And if you're not doing that, then that's where the hypocritical part comes in. That's where the part of, well, wait a minute, are you really trying to be virtuous, or are you just trying to be selective?
Make a show, yeah. Well, speaking of getting away with anything, I'm so glad you brought that up. For folks watching at home who haven't been scoring at home, former President Donald Trump he's now been federally arrested in federal court, arraigned as of, I think, maybe last week and a half ago. Fun fact, before we get into the details of the case, he left the arraignment, went to a beloved Versailles bakery in Miami. His birthday was the next day, so he had like these old, wonderful Jewish Yenta ladies and these old Cuban ladies, and I don't know where they bust him in from, but they seemed like they really cared. And I saw a clip of this old Jewish lady, and she, "Happy birthday, Mr. President, we're rooting for you." And he goes, he literally says, "Some birthday, huh?" That's on with the Zapruder film, just a few videos down. And then he goes, you know what? Free food for everybody on me. Free food for everybody. How about that? It's my birthday too. And then he fucking bails out.
If that isn't a perfect example of the type of person he is and the type of shit that he did to the country and continues to do with the grift, I don't know what is. I don't know what it is. And the thing is, I bet you all of them people walked out of there thinking like, it's okay he didn't pay for it. It's okay he lied. It was a good lie. He made us feel good about it. At least
halfway home in the car, they were like, that commercial comes on the radio and they turn the radio down. And they're like, "The fuck, you didn't pay?"
Oh, bro, listen, man. We talk about this a lot on Critical and Thinking, and I don't know what it's gonna take for those people. And I repeated a quote today that kind of encompasses that type of stuff. And said it's easier to fool somebody than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. And that's where we are with this dude and his base. Because think about it, bro. Like, there are people out there, Sam, that only get their information from him. Like not even Fox, not even Breitbart,
not even Newsmax or OAN or whatever.
They wait for him to tell them what is true to him. And when you're at that point, again, like I said, if it was one person, it'd be different. It's just one person. We're talking about a system of people that have enabled this dude to be this guy. We're talking about a Mitch McConnell, early on a Paul Ryan, now a McCarthy, a Boebert. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Like all of these
big names at first. The first round, he got some big support.
Yeah, but you got to understand something, man. When you have people that, because I always ask this question: what is it now that draws you to him now? Because let's say early on, and I think we said this last week on the show, somebody said, well, if this was 2015, 2016, okay, you might have some people that fall for the banana in the tailpipe. They might fall for the charisma, whatever the fuck they say it is he has.
He fell for the banana in the tailpipe trick.
Exactly. But fast forward now to post getting caught with the 30,000 plus lies, post the cheating on every wife, post the hush money, post the getting
grabbing him by
caught
the pussy.
audio, huh?
Grabbing him by the pussy.
Grabbing him by the pussy.
That was a strong opening.
Exactly. Lying, getting caught lying on how motherfuckers washed this away was weird. Getting caught lying on audio about the level of severity with COVID. Like he's on audio saying he's going to lie about this, and they still like,
it's not as bad. Well, just exactly. Not as bad.
This is nasty stuff. So post that. Post.
No, hey, Ty, real quick. Ty, before we explain, let's go back and forth. Name a Trump scandal until we can't go any longer. All right.
Post the inviting the Russians to the White House.
Okay.
Post trying to get the Taliban to come to Camp David. Post the oh my God, bro! In everything I'm saying, you would think this is in a script.
I know, but there were so many that you forget these.
Yes.
I can't believe I forgot about Sergeant Pepper's. That was such a great album. What the fuck? How did I?
Oh, it is.
The catalog is.
It's fucking bananas. So
what about shithole countries?
Shithole countries.
John McCain.
The John McCain. I prefer soldiers that weren't captured. Post the lying about his
only white players at the fucking White House after the championships.
Do you see what I'm saying? All of these things. Post the line about the election. Post the fucking fake electors. Post the find me 11,780 votes. Post the I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna hold back military aid to another country unless you make up some shit about my opponent.
But that's the war we're in now,
bro.
It's gonna take years for people to get how intertwined Trump's term to this war was. I think, but that's not the fun stuff. I'm just gonna try to hit you with how many fucking legitimate on both sides women in office did he fucking call some crazy name like she's an ugly woman, she's a very nasty lady, she's kind of a whore.
And he's officially a sex offender now.
Yeah,
that's official.
With that, did you see the deposition?
Wait, now I saw that she can go at him for more.
They released part of the deposition, and they played the ground by the pussy clip for him, and they said, Mr. Trump, do you find, and he's just sitting there, that fat toad thing he does, and they go, do you find it to be true? If you're a star, you just grab a woman by the genitalia.
Yeah. And
he literally just leans in. I mean, this guy will not take his foot off the gas. He leans in and goes, I mean, I found it to be true. I mean, in my time. And they go, do you think you're a star? Do you think you're a star? And he goes, and he looks around like for some support or anything. And he goes, I mean, people would say I was.
Yeah. But also, did you catch the other part of it where he says, they let you do it? And he says, I guess it's true. Unfortunately, or fortunately. I'm like, wait, did you just say fortunately? They let
just a sign. Okay, let's get into the big stuff. Out of the corner of my eye, it looked like you were taking your shirt off. I was like, it's not like that.
No, I'm not in that shape no more. It's just my entire point, because again, we still have to talk about the whole
actual case
trying to overthrow the government.
No, you wanted to get into the stuff that fascinates me, and I don't know that we've ever had a conversation without discussing this, is what has these people?
I'm going to tell you what I think it is now, because they used to go with the lie, his policies. We just loved his policies. What policies? Tell me his healthcare policy, because that's important. Let's start with the things that help America. What's his healthcare policy?
John McCain killed it, and then he went back to Arizona and died.
Exactly. See, Then we go, let's go with livable wage. Well, where's his stance on raising the minimum wage to where average
I
people
never
can live,
heard any
including the farmers?
discussion. I never heard any discussion
Not
of
at
that.
all, right? Let's talk about regulations. As a matter of fact, not only did he not shore up regulations, he got rid of regulations, which is why trains are crashing everywhere. Let's talk about affordable insulin. Nope, didn't do anything in that area at all. Let's talk about moving us fast forward with solar energy. Nope, nothing in that area either.
Yeah,
As a matter
right.
of fact, he wants to drill and cause more damage to the environment.
What about not abusing state secrets and classified information? Right? He did.
Oh my God, bro. The fact that all of that stuff happened, Sam, and this, what you just said, is bananas that this dude is not. Because okay.
Oh, hey, you left out 2 impeachments.
And
I want to correct you, but
twice indicted. Now, here's the thing. So I said all that to say this, and I've said this before. I've been on the record of saying this before. If you were to tell me, as much as I don't like him, but let's just say while he was in office, he did things that made my life better or put money in my pocket. So let's say he was in office. I had an extra $100K in my bank account, blah, blah, blah. Gave me health care, all of these things. As much as I hate him, at least I would be like, well, man, fuck. He didn't do any of that.
Well, and that's how policy is supposed to work, right? You win over support, whether you like him or not. It made an impact in your life.
But now look at it. Look at this. You say, well,
Did he do stimulus checks?
No. No. You see what I'm saying, bro? No, actually, when they did do stimulus checks, he tried to say he wanted to put his name on them personally.
That's right. He wanted to be signed by him.
I'm giving you this money personally. Everybody's like, motherfucker, this is not money that's coming out of your bank account.
And first of all, we don't work for you.
Oh my God. Sam, it's funny you say that because I remember seeing posts of people saying he's giving away his personal money. Are you fucking goofy?
No.
We're talking about a dude who just now stiffed a fucking restaurant. Okay.
Hang on. We got to just there's 2 lanes here. There are the crimes and playing the hits, and then there are the folks that support them.
Okay, but now see here's how they're intertwined at a intersection of what the fuckness. When because I listed all of those things in conjunction with all of the crimes. Like I said, if this dude had done so many great things in addition to those fucked up things.
You're literally doing the Magneto pose on your shirt right now.
I know, right? If he had done all of those things in combination with all of those shitty things, you'd be able to pick things and say, man, I know it's fucked up that he had the classified documents. I know it's fucked up that he lies every time he opens his mouth. But look, man, I was able to buy a house because of this. My kids are fed because of this. The country is safer because of this. And you can't point to any of this. Ask yourself this, bro. Every speech this motherfucker has given since announcing that he's running for office again, not a single time, not even once, has he talked about what he's going to do for the country. I can tell you what he has said. He said he's going to go after his enemies. He said that he's going to create a special team to go after the Biden corrupt crime family, even though his appointed people are actually the ones that are on the case now. It's fine.
Hey, no malarkey, Jack. Every time I get out, they pull me back in, you know?
Do you see? So I said all that to say this. What's left now for the Trump supporter and why you support him now? Since we figured out it wasn't policy, since we figured out that unless you're the 1% to 3%, he didn't put money in your pocket. Since we figured out that it wasn't healthcare. Since we figured out he didn't make the country safer because red states are still fucking dangerous.
I heard somebody say he didn't start a new war. So now we're at a place in history where we're like, well, we didn't get a new war, not like a war, a justified war, but he didn't start a new one.
You understand? That's like saying, hey, man, I went to that restaurant where they was where a lot of people. I went to that McDonald's over there, and a lot of people got food poisoning. Well, hey, you know what? At least the soda was cold. That makes no fucking sense.
Some birthday.
The ice cream machine worked. So the only thing left at this point is he hates the same people they hate. And he represents that level of low classness that they are. He represents because, and you've heard us say this before on the show, sometimes people are just shitty. That's it. There's no extra, no deep formula. There's no E equal MC square thing. Some people are just shitty, and some people gravitate towards those shitty people. And he has proven time and time again. Hey man, think about it. For his answer to be, when being accused of rape, does she look like someone I would rape? That tells you, and that Christians were rocking with him still after he said that. That tells you that anyone still supporting that guy is okay with rape.
No, I mean, Dice would not be comfortable with that comment.
Come on, man. So, like I said, bro, the reason why I said all of that was because the reason why he still has that support in among quote unquote conservatives, quote unquote Christians, quote unquote evangelicals, quote unquote patriots, is because at the end of the day, this country has a significant portion of shitty people. And those shitty people have officially run out of excuses, political excuses. So now they say, man, this guy is our guy. He's just our guy, and he makes us feel good about being horrible. And that's it. It really is nothing else. It really is nothing else. That's it. I just wish, the only thing I asked, bro, the only thing I wish is that they owned it. That's all I wish. Just own it.
This is what I was going to say. I learned lately I've been obsessed. And by the way, my God, that breakdown. I mean, if forward that to your friends, folks. That's the best example. I mean, the most real talk about what's left is Trump supporters I've heard. This whole time, I've been getting very into on YouTube late at night when I'm the only one up around here, watching just a raw video of people, journalists interviewing Trump supporters, like at rallies recently, or like this year. This Return of the Jedi third run. It didn't work out for the fucking white fat guy. But it's fascinating because I noticed that some of these people will literally say the same lines they just saw Trump say.
I told you they get their news from him.
I mean, nobody walked out of an Obama rally being like, but I think if we learn to work together. Like nobody would have ever done that, but they go like, well, the Biden crime family, we're going to stand up for them because we're the only ones who can. And you're like, you're just doing karaoke.
And bro, but and think about it, man. When you say that, when they say that, Biden crime family. So what do you consider a crime? Do you consider paying off hush money? Is that a crime? It's probably not a legal crime where you can go to jail, but it's not a good thing.
Trump just got indicted in New York for hush money.
You see what I'm saying? Do you consider lying on your taxes to upselling the value of something and then devaluing it?
Like when you say something, do you mean like high-priced New York real estate?
Exactly. Do you consider telling people, hey, and unless you make up something about my political opponent, I will not help you? Let me just say this very clearly, what this is. Unless you make up something about my political opponent, I will not help you save the lives of those people. Hey, man.
Now, hey, that's Ty.
Hey, man.
This isn't critical in thinking. We're in Texas. You have to explain who he was saying that to.
When you tell the president, when you tell the people of Ukraine, unless you help me personally win this election, not by giving me truthful information. That's the other thing. It's not like he said, hey, man, that information you guys are holding on to that happens to be actually factual about my opponent. Unless you give me that, I'm not giving you these weapons to help save your lives, the lives of your children and your children's children and pets.
Well, and
He said
he won the first round with that guy's enemy. I mean,
see?
he's from a time. What blows my mind that I think we slept on right there is the fact that he thought you could go. It's okay for an American presidential candidate in office or not to go to a foreign leader and say like, "Hey, will you endorse me? Like, will you fucking contribute and get involved in the campaign?" Because that's not a thing we do here. And once you open that fucking door, you know, now you got that.
And plus, bro, when you say, hey, we have him caught on tape saying, find me 11,780 votes. We have people that are about to be put on trial for putting forth fake electors. Fake, hey man.
Which again, for the folks in Texas watching, fake electors means we were gonna, if you're a volunteer elector and you were picked to go be the guy who, Trump, we vote Donald Trump, they were gonna fucking just have somebody take your place. Like Lonnie from the fucking brake shop was just gonna show up in your place.
But you want me to be more concerned about a private citizen's laptop? Hey, I'm gonna say this again. I don't give a fuck if Hunter Biden is doing coke off of strippers' titties.
Well, he is right now. He is right now.
Which he probably is. It has nothing to do with my life as a citizen. Nothing. It has absolute, and the fact that they try to equate these two, well, shit. You don't think Trump's kids do coke? You don't think Trump does coke? Stop.
Have you ever seen Don Jr. on Fox News?
Oh my God, bro.
He's literally like, he's just,
yes.
Okay, here's what's going on, all right?
Bro, and the fact that they refuse to see it.
And by the way, Hunter stays out of politics. He doesn't campaign. He doesn't go to rallies. He's not in the middle of it.
But you got to understand something, bro. And we said something about this a little bit earlier on our show is, and it is sad. I know we're talking about it, and there's certain parts where we make light of it, but at the end of the day, bro, the people that really, really suffer the most are the average citizens. You think really that like he's not if this happens the way it's supposed to happen, he will get punished and hopefully will not be allowed anywhere near the White House. He shouldn't even be allowed near a White House.
Well,
period. Off white, pan, anything.
It sounds like Smith is trying to push a pretty punch the throttle case here. Yeah,
but bro, I got to be honest with you, man. I watch too many horror movies. I'm not. Hey, man, until I see the head chopped off and the credits fully roll.
No, I feel you. That's what Terry always says. Like, until you have something for real, Slade, don't bring it to my desk, Lieutenant. You know.
Yeah.
But I know this much. I haven't been raised by a guy that was once called the bulldog of Austin trial lawyers, Austin American Statesman, 1993. Everybody, if you can find it, frame a copy for yourself. No. But I worked in enough summer law school or law office places. What am I having a stroke? What the fuck? This interview he did with Brett Baer is going to help accelerate the whole process because it's hard to file a motion to delay or to reschedule when you have your defendant going on the flagship marquee channel and literally arguing with the face of the network when the face of the network's being like, hey, don't say stuff like that. It's bad for you.
Bro, but see, now here's the thing, and this is why
it's all admissible.
Let me tell you why I think for him, he knows that he has his base so snowed. You said something early in the show that somebody said, I didn't even know this shit was happening. They don't watch the other stuff. They only watch one thing, and then if they don't watch that one thing, they only listen to him because they feel like that dude is giving you the.
Or there's a lot of I don't want to cut you off, but this is something I wanted to add to what you just said about the people who get hurt the most. Dude, what fucks me up just watching the process? It just bums me out that this country, for the most part, especially my generation, we're not cool Gen Xers like you are, Todd. And everybody's too scared to be excited about this. because we've lived with this crazy PTSD with this man for going on a decade, and we can't get him out of our lives. And no matter, like, it's the horror movie. Well, some horror movies are about crazy exes. I don't know. But I mean, he just can't shake him. And it's to the point where people are so just want him gone so bad that nobody even wants to say anything once we get him rid of him. Like, just
well, I can't. I am also of the mindset that because I hear so much about Jack Smith that I am going to believe that he is doing what he knows will work. Again, I am saying that based off of the reputation that this dude has. Now, again, if this was just one person and he didn't have a network of people helping him do shitty shit, I would say this is a slam dunk. Jack Smith is going to be able to put this dude away. But we're talking about an entire network of people at Fox that didn't learn from having to pay $787 million. They didn't learn from that, so they went right back to the lies. This is why I get mad at Dominion, because you could have really, really, really helped the American people, but instead you took a fucking paycheck. That's neither here nor there. But
no, it's there. The paycheck is in the bank. It's there.
Exactly. So we're talking about a network that's helping them. We're talking about quote unquote lawmakers who are censuring Adam Schiff for opening investigations into the guy, while at the same time protecting George Santos, who we really literally don't know who he is.
What the fuck is? We don't need to get into it. But what the fuck is that guy's deal? What? Who is?
But this is what I mean by where we are as a country, and this is, you know, I always tell people, I don't like talking about this. I really don't. Like there's as a comedian, as a human being that really used to believe in humanity, I'm like, bro, I want to be all kumbaya and shit. But we have a portion of the country that if they can't have it their way, they'd rather blow it up. They'd rather burn it to the fucking ground.
And that's why the current base, from what I've seen watching these supporter interviews, the current base, they're scraping the resin. That doesn't mean the resin doesn't have guns, but they're scraping the resin.
Oh, bro, they want that. When I tell you when they say civil war, that's what they want, bro. They want, because here's the thing. When you have no facts on your side, because think about it, his lawyers aren't even saying he didn't do it.
No.
His lawyers are saying, well, what about this? And what about this? And every time he goes on TV and talks, they're like, God damn, bro, what we just
what the fuck? I mean that, and that's why so many of his lawyers have quit.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit, if my dad was a criminal lawyer, but if he ever had a client, it would have fucking gave him a stroke. It would have killed him. I mean, and also you don't have to worry about them defending it, because Trump he's been telling everybody who will listen that he did it.
Yep. Think about the list. Think about the list of excuses that were given. This is what I mean by, like, the dude puts out so much garbage. It's hard to keep track of it for the people that aren't paying attention. For the people that aren't paying attention, it's like, no, we didn't do that. No.
I heard. Talk about people not paying attention. I heard somebody, a very reasonable person I know the other day, yeah, well, Joe Biden's a crook. I was like, where the fuck did you hear that? Who told you that?
And then ask them how. Ask them to explain it.
Oh, I did. I shoved the person up against the walls.
And so what they say?
They had nothing. They were going like, well, here's what the answer was. All politicians are crooks. And I was like, okay, if Biden stole a few more extra seconds on a hug, I guess he's a crook.
Yeah. But then you ask them when they say all politicians are crook. Here's the closest they come to calling Trump a liar and a crook. All politicians lie. All politicians are crooks.
Well, both sides are the same.
And see, because you got to understand something, man. And I saw this other, and man, every time I see it now, it makes way more sense. It said, to them, they have to continue to go over the cliff with him, because to them, it would blow their minds to finally admit that they've been fooled.
And I think that's been the case for some population of this country since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Like the relatives I had, nice country white folk who, voted Clinton and they all voted for W because, but then Obama, and then all of a sudden, well, I don't know, this birth certificate stuff. What the fuck are you talking about? People forget that was like the rookie season.
Oh, bro, but see, now this is why when you ask people like, look, what matters to you? If you ask the average citizen, even Republican, you say, well, what matters to you more right now? Having affordable health care, being able to go see a doctor whenever you want, and having your family taken care of, or what Hunter Biden has on his laptop?
And another thing, Tyler, that I've been thinking about, whose fucking 80-year-old dad knows what they have on their laptop? Like, where they're like, what did Joe know? And you're like,
but see, and this is what I mean by like where they're. Why is it so easy to distract these people? And I know the reason, because one, they're stupid. Two, they're hate-filled. Three, they're stupid. Four, they're ignorant. Five, they're stupid. Six, they honestly only get their information from one place. Seven, they're stupid as fuck. Eight, they honestly want it to be only their way. And nine, I think they're stupid as fuck.
I got 10. Can I give you 10?
Yes.
They stand behind the mufflers at the drive-thru.
Exactly.
No, but here's I think you're exactly right. They are full on Thelma and Louise politically. There's no back now.
They have to rock with it, because admitting that they were wrong or fooled, they would have to look at themselves. And sometimes what's hard for people, bro, is sometimes it's self-reflection. Everybody, every single person has moments where they have to look at themselves and they say, well, okay, was I wrong in this, or was the situation wrong? Everyone does it. Like, so you say, well, I personally, because I know when people talked about the crime bill with Biden, they said, man, how can you support Joe Biden when he came up with the crime bill? Well, first of all, you're just making a surface statement based off of some shit you heard somewhere else. So if you look deeper into that, you say, well, first of all, this wasn't Joe Biden crime bill here, put away all these people. This was crack was ravaging the street, which is the fault of Ronald Reagan. It wasn't a war on drugs, it was a war on black people, but that war happened to spill over to white folks, Asian folks, or whatever that decided to do those drugs too. But regardless, the streets were fucking dangerous. So even black folks were like, yo, man, you got to do something about this shit. And if you don't have any, because I am a firm believer in the law when it keeps away dangerous criminals.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm a firm believer.
I've said, when this topic came up, I never hear any Gen Xer bitching about the crime bill. It's millennials who are like, well, I heard it was bad. And you're like,
See,
but you remember what it was like? Like,
when they say I heard, what do you mean you heard it was bad?
Like, it was real bad that I was like, you were 3 and you were living in, Rochester, New York. What the fuck are you talking about?
And but that's their way of saying, well, I'm not gonna vote for him. Let me tell you something, man. I know what's at stake on the other end. And for the people that don't understand what's at stake on the other end, let me be very clear. Because people they always say stuff like Joe Biden is old, and first of all, because they always they always move it when they realize that one thing didn't work, that one narrative didn't work.
You gotta try the next
thing. Crime bill didn't work. Okay, he sniffs hair.
Yeah, he's a creep.
That didn't work. He's slow. Okay, well, no. Now he's corrupt. But what else?
It was locusts. It was a hurricane.
Exactly. So they always move the goalpost. But when you say, look, I honestly, let me be clear to people. I don't need Joe Biden to do anything more than to be able to read, comprehend, glad hand, legislate, govern. He don't even have to be in physically good shape to do those things. As long as you can get to and from your desk and you can hear see and think critically and make sound decisions. I don't need this motherfucker to dunk. I don't need that shit. I don't need him to fucking run a marathon. We ain't talking about American Gladiator. I need this dude to
I'll
legislate.
see John Cena at WrestleMania, kiddo. Come on.
Thank you. If you're talking about now we've added that now he has to wrestle, okay. Joe might be a little
By
bit.
the way, all these people are fucking lucky they weren't around when Joe was in his prime. That dude passed up what was going to be a scholarship to Penn State, which was all but guaranteed to go to the NFL as a quarterback. That's how fucking good he was in high school. And instead, he followed his late wife off to college and was like, hey, I'm a lover, kiddo.
So it's just, like I said, to me, so that's on one side. The other side, you have literal Nazis, science deniers, QAnon supporters. You have
Klan. I know it's Nazi and Klan, but old school
Klan, flat earthers,
QAnon.
All you have a slew. It's almost like the Legion of Doom on the other side. And
you know what Trump says? Joe Biden's Injustice Department.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of a dope pull. I was like, okay.
See, that's why, like I said, if you're not able to be a critical thinker in that moment and say, well, Joe Biden is going after Trump. Okay, so if you say that, that's an easy dog whistle and talking point that the people that don't want to think, that's all they need. I saw somewhere where you just said Joe Biden is going after Trump. I like Trump. I don't like Joe Biden. Okay, so that's all I need. Instead of saying, hey, adult who somehow has the same right to fucking vote
and drive,
Joe Biden did not pick the special counsel. I mean, Joe Biden did not pick the grand jury that looked at the evidence and said, okay, well, there's enough evidence.
In fact, Joe Biden hasn't spoken about any of it at all.
At all.
Right.
Independent people looked at this and said, there's enough here to go to trial. Joe Biden had absolutely nothing to do with this. And the judges that saw that same evidence were Trump-appointed judges.
Which means the shit's bad. When they're like, the guy who gave me the job, I know, but this is pretty fucked up. Real quick, I got to ask you, I mean,
yeah, I gotta ready to bounce in a second.
Okay.
I promised my wife that I would actually be early today.
Okay, I apologize.
No, you good.
No, I'm sorry. In the 90s, when we had special prosecutor, they went after Bill Clinton about Paula Jones and Monica Lewinsky. And they negotiated an 8-hour interrogation with President Clinton at the time. And it was going to be broken up I don't know how it was broken up, like maybe 4 and 4, 4 hours and 4 hours, something crazy to try to break them down. And Bill Clinton, I mean, you want to see a great deposition to end on a happy law note, to which people will comment and go you mean a white man abusing his power? No, it's just fun, silly stuff. For 8 hours, he gets interrogated and he just runs out the time for 8 hours. And they ask him when did you meet Monica Lewinsky? Was that kind of a random meeting? And he's like, speaking of a random meeting, when James Madison met Ben Franklin, it was a very random meeting.
Oh my
and
God.
he just keeps going, and no matter what they asked, he would fucking crowbar it back to
that's hilarious.
Dr. J play and all kinds of shit.
Speaking of balls, did you ever see Will Chamberlain? No, I was kidding. So yeah, man, it's again, the priority of people now it's just we live in such a shiny object society now.
Also our side, we've agreed on this in the past. Our side's messaging fucking sucks.
It's horrible. But also, man,
that's not a scapegoat.
It's not, but because here's the thing that makes me mad about that, bro. If you walked up to the average person, especially you say, hey man, hey, you look dumb as fuck. You look like a dummy.
You're opening with that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you say to a person, you look dumb. And you say, well, what do you mean y'all look dumb? I'm like, well, you just don't look like you're smart. You say, well, I don't understand why you would say that. And then you walk off, right?
Yeah.
That same person would look at something in the news and they say, man, I don't know if I like Joe Biden because I don't know what he's done. You can actually go look and see what Joe Biden has done. You can go look and see the legislative accomplishments of Joe Biden. You're choosing not to do it and say, well, he should have told me better. I called you dumb. That's why I called you dumb, because you want all the credit of being smart enough to not be called dumb, but you don't want to put the work in. And we got to give you buzzwords. Are we us or are we them? They need buzzwords. They need fucking key talking points. They need the balloons and bells and whistles. We're the ones that are supposed to be smarter.
YMCA at
You know what I'm saying?
the rallies.
We're the ones that's supposed to be smarter and critical thinkers and deep divers and researchers. That's us. You shouldn't have to spoon feed us. So when people say shit like, "Oh my God, the messaging," "Oh my God, I just don't understand what he's doing." You have the fucking internet in front of you. You
Well,
can
I didn't say it like that, did I?
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? But when people on our side
They're looking for an out. They're looking
saying that, I'm like, bro, you can actually. Of course, you're not. First of all, Joe Biden shouldn't have to be out there saying, "Okay, you guys, look. Here's another accomplishment on the scoreboard."
God, he's going to go down. He's going to end up getting the quarter by the time it's all done. The backside will be the Corvette, and then he's on the other side.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like we can't want it both ways. Treat me like I'm an intellectual, but also talk to me like I'm a fucking child.
Right.
It can't be both, man. Not on our side. Like, we're supposed to be able to be better than that.
Yeah.
And I get it when you say, well, he's not putting it in our face all the time. Say, okay, well, Joe Biden is doing this. Well, if he was doing that all the time, then you'd have a problem with that. Yeah. You'd be like, oh, every goddamn time we get it, bro. Accomplish something. We get it.
I think Joe's too busy fucking working to be doing that. You know, he's about doing it, not talking about it. I mean, in the most old school.
That's all I'm saying, bro, is that I pride myself on, I mean, I'm not a Rhodes Scholar or anything like that, but I consider myself pretty versed in certain things. And the things that I'm not versed in, I'm smart enough to at least go look and try to figure it out. So when people say, well, I just don't understand, I mean, man, you know, you guys on the left aren't telling us enough. Well, let's be honest here. The people on the right, no matter what you tell them, they don't care. They don't care what he's doing. They will make up some excuse to why it doesn't matter or it's not real. So we're not even talking about that 30%, that 35%. We're not talking about them. We're talking about independents and liberals. That's what we're talking about. Now, liberals, we claim to be super smart intellectuals. Independents claim to be even smarter than us. So if you're telling me that you can't look and go to joebiden.com or .org or whatever, or you can't look at MSNBC or BBC or PBS or none of the online
microfiche.
You see what I'm saying? If you can't do any of that, it's not Joe Biden's fault.
Yeah.
It's because you're a fucking idiot. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah, but do you remember when Trump had to pick between D. Snyder and Dice?
No.
Remember? And the donut place went under. They had a pop-up donut shop.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, and they got in a fight about who the leader was supposed to be and who the manager was. And then there was a big showdown in the boardroom. And Eric, what do you think? And Eric was like, I don't like either.
That was the Apprentice. Oh, that's right. I never watched it.
I went back and watched some highlights, and I turned off in like 2 seconds, seeing so many like beloved old faces. With just playing along, fucking, it's harmless.
Well, if I'm pretty sure if they knew that he would have turned out.
They would have never. Real quick, I know you got to go. Can I mention next week?
No. If you in, you in.
I'm in.
Done deal.
Announcement. You say it. It's your show.
So I will say, you guys tune in, and Sam will be co-hosting with me on Critical and Thinking next Thursday, 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, whatever that time is in Texas.
That's 2 right after the church
in.
bells stop.
So tune in because we're gonna talk more shit there.
Yeah, and it's a much better show than this one. Real quick before I let you go, one quick question: Gavin Newsom, is he the next big thing?
I hope if he runs, I hope he has a serious chance of winning, because what I don't want to happen is I don't want people to say, well, it's either Gavin Newsom or I don't want him to split up what Biden would get.
Oh, you're thinking he's gonna like primary?
Like if he runs, he's gone on record, I think, saying that he wouldn't run.
Yes.
If he did run, I would vote for him. Let me tell you something, and to be in all fairness, I would vote for a can of soup before I vote for any Republican.
Well, I'm gonna hit him with a little bit of it right here.
Oh,
Hey! That's the thing in our state. We've made it clear.
There you go.
There's going to be jobs and there's future, and there's a whole.
There you go.
No, and I don't care.
He clicks all the buttons.
Hey, whatever DeSantis says, hey, I'll debate Ron anytime, anywhere. Okay.
That's right.
I am in love with Patrick Bateman out there.
He clicks all the buttons. He's young, smart, good looking, well versed. So
we don't want to know where he got the money for those Italian restaurants in his 20s that he started. We don't need to know where he got the money for.
Don't need to know, man. Just legislate, do your job, and help the people that need help. That's it.
Ty Barnett, thank you so much for coming on tonight, man.
Of course, bro, and thank you for agreeing to next week. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This has been Weirdos at Home. I know you got to go. I'm just going to shut it off.
Thank you, bro. Take care, man.
Hey, I'll talk to you soon, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is it over? I can't tell.